Narrated video, 536 North Baldwin Street. There's some loose brickwork here on the stairs, and that row on the right hand side of the exterior stairs is all totally loose and there's no mortar. There's some mortar pitting here, and you can't see it from here, but over the garage there's literally a loose end and a crack, which obviously we're not going to tape because that's outside. Coming into the house, there's just a little bit of cleanup work on the door for the paint. Coming in. So next to the front door, we taped along this baseboard here because the door doesn't have any hinge stops, and when this table isn't here, it's likely to hit the wall. So either a hinge stop there or a door stopper here would be appreciated. Inside the closet, there's nothing else. There's gonna be touch-up points on paint and dents throughout the house. This is for the furnace. I believe it's an intake valve or register, whatever you call it. And there are a couple of holes in that. Going around the living room, there's more touch-up paint areas needed. This window is taped because it's missing a screen. Minor paint touch-up for the sill, paint touch-up, and holes on the mantle. This windowsill needs some touch-up. Base trim could use a little touch-up here. More trim touch-up. This window is missing a screen. The grout work has some gaps here in the kitchen, and that's why that's taped off. Again, more trim work here. I'm gonna head over by the bedrooms here in a minute and come back and finish the kitchen and downstairs later. There's a gap here by the outlet cover. There's a gash here. Corners need touched up. Touch-up paint needed. There's a gouge here. Touch up by the light fixture. Touch up for the base trim. The corner bead needs a lot of work, and there's some few touch-up spots here. Every door, if you run your hands along it, has some smooth edges, but then some rough edges that are borderline sharp in places. So every door has some tape on it. We have this guy next to the door and a little touch up here. All the closets are missing shelving, but the framework is here for shelving. This door, if you open it all the way to the laundry door, because there's no hinge stop, the doors will touch and potentially cause damage. So that is what that tape is about. For the laundry room, just some handprints that need touched up, touch up on the corner of the trim. We put tape below this door for the reason of the doorknob's gonna hit, so there needs to be some sort of stop there. Touch up paint for the door, the jamb. The wall's a bit dirty. We'll cover this on the rest of the repair addendum, but the attic hatch cover needs to be insulated. The electrical work needs to be moved away from here. The gas furnace needs to be connected and tested. And yeah, the hatch cover should be closed and put in place. More touch up here on the inside. Going into the primary bedroom, touch up on the corners, the door work here. Again, this door, we taped the bottom behind the door because our door is gonna hit the wall since there are no hinges. And again, we have another door. There are some really rough edges here along the bottom. My client has some little ones, so that would be appreciated if we could touch that up. There's a little gash here. This closet rod is overspanned and probably needs support arm for that. There's touch up on the base trim there. The large window is missing a screen. Touch up for the trim next to the door. Here we come into the main bathroom. Some touch up cleanup work needed here on the jamb. And on the floor, there's just some adhesive that ran over on this tile that could be touched up. There's a hole here between the bathtub and the floor. The countertop is missing caulking, some touch-up work for the little hole next to the outlet, touch-up work on the wall. And then this door, same as the others, some rough edges to the touch, so we'd like those sanded down so they're smooth. This door, we put tape on the hinge because you can't put a stop on the floor, but this door will hit the towel bar. So a hinge of some sort would be appreciated there. This bedroom, the back of the house, has framing for closet shelves, but is missing the shelf and the rod. The east-facing window is missing a screen. The caulking on the base trim here should be touched up. There's a pretty good gap. There's some touch-up paint needed in a couple areas along the trim boards, and just outside there is a fair amount of trash underneath the landscaping fabric, and that would be appreciated if it was cleaned up. And in the back corner, there's that concrete bird bath. There's also some more wiring and construction debris loose out there. These are just touch up for some of the nail gun holes along the base trim, and again, the gap for the caulking in the corners all the way through. Door edges, not too bad on the top, but as we go down, they get really rough, and we'd like to see those sanded. This closet's missing shelving and a rod as well. Okay, moving back toward the dining room and kitchen. Our light fixture here is missing bulbs, and this cover has dents in it. Both of these light fixtures are missing their bulbs, and this light fixture is also missing a bulb. This cabinet, just a little touch up for that chip would be appreciated. Same thing, there's a couple chips here for this cabinet. The dishwasher kick plate has not been installed, but the hardware is here on the counter. We've got corner bead that could use some touch up, headed all the way down. Next to the edge of the counter, there's just the pencil lines from the tile. Could be cleaned up a bit. So that's what that tape is for. Coming down the stairs, there's some touch up that could be used on the trim work of the door, and then if you can see, there's an actual gap. The door is missing the weather stripping, and you can see going up to the top, it actually is rubbing a little bit and peeling the paint off, so the door could be plumbed up a little bit. Couple gouge marks here. This is from the door hitting, as you can see, boop. So we would like a stop device there. This big long strip of tape is letting you know that there is a safety rail missing for this stairwell. Coming down, there is a little bit of touch-up paint needed here, and just a little finish work cleaning up the caulk at the edge of the stairs. Coming into the corner here, a couple gouges in the wall. Corner work could be touched up. The garage door, jamb could just use a little touch up. And just like the other doors, we've got some rough edges. And we would love to see something prevent this door from hitting the wall. So that's why I have the tape here between the garage and the bedroom. Here in the garage, this will go on the repair addendum, but just bringing your attention to the garage remote. The chain isn't connected to the door, and that's where the P-trap is missing from the tub from the upstairs bathroom. The first bedroom downstairs. Would love to see something to stop the door from hitting. Our door has nice smooth edges on the top, but as we come down, we get some sharpness, and we'd just like to see that sanded off. There's a gap. Just please fill it in near the outlet. Clean up on paint here in the corner, a little touch up there. This outlet could use some touch up. That outlet also could use a little touch up, and there's a gash in the wall here. Oh, hello, Mr. Spider. This window is missing a screen, and there's a spot for touch up on the sill. The can light down here actually could use some touch up on the finished work. The other 3 lights in this room are in good shape. Some touch up paint here in the closet. Again, another closet with a place to hang the shelf and the rug, but the actual hardware is missing. And just a little touch-up paint here. Heading into the kitchenette and living room area. We have more gaps on the ceiling, a gouge on the ceiling to get touched up. A little touch-up for the hole next to the thermostat. Rough edges on the door, and then also we'd like some sort of hinge or door stopper so that this door doesn't hit the wall when the furniture is moved. In here, I know you guys are already working on the water heater situation, but obviously we'd like that cleaned up, and the TRP valve is not connected at this time. Down here, we already mentioned the floor leak area and the water coming up through the floorboards. This is work that was done after we did our original walkthrough, and we'd just like to see that finished a little bit nicer, and some touch-up paint here. This outlet could use a little touch-up near it. All of the shelving for these cabinets in this kitchen is uninstalled. Some of the cabinets appear to have shelving sitting inside waiting to be installed. Some of the other ones are missing. That's just a little touch-up guide. And let's see, touch up there where the dishwasher goes. I think I caught these already. Touch up here, touch up here. I'd like to see this corner touched up on the way to the bathroom. Turn on the light. And we would like some cleanup on the transition on the floor here. A little touch up here on the door jamb. This door, just like all the other doors, has some sharp edges we'd like to see sanded down, and we would like a stop of some sort so it doesn't hit the wall and the towel bar. General touch up could be used on those trim boards down here. This drawer is taped because it rubs on this side when you open and close it. And there's a couple of legs in here. So we're not sure if those were meant to be installed or if the cabinet is screwed to the wall, but we'd appreciate that. Seeing now this can't close, it's not flush. This countertop has not been caulked. The toilet bolt covers need to be trimmed so the little cover can get on there. Both sides. That looks like the start of a nail pop above the shower. And there's just a little gouge here in the ceiling. And then some touch-up paint could be used here. The last bedroom, just clean up on the paint on the door. Rough edges, especially on the top on this one, and then this one we'd like to see some sort of stop so this doesn't hit the wall. The screen is missing from this window. Could use some touch up next to the outlet, some touch up in places on the windowsill. And then along the fireplace, there's some, I think when you guys pulled the tape, the paint came off. And then there's just a need for some extra caulking to fill the gap along this brick wall. This is just touch up for this little gouge right here. Hard to see from my phone, but it's there. This is just more touch up. Again, we think when you guys pulled the paint tape that it removed the paint from the ceiling, so that would be appreciated. Little wall touch up. Clean up on the drywall next to the outlets. Hello, water outlet. We know that's because you guys are doing water heater work and that's turned off. Here's another closet where there's some hardware in place, but we would love for the shelving to be installed. So that's all the big tape. Little repairs, touch up needed, and then some rough door edges again. Please just have the guys go top to bottom on every one of the doors. Ooh, yeah, especially that guy is like really rough. And then behind the door, a bit of touch-up work could be appreciated. That is officially our blue tape walkthrough.